What's going on guys, CasualSavage here, and today I have a different video for you. It's not going to be a tutorial, it's going to be behind the scenes of the short film I created known as The Possessed YouTuber. Now this isn't one of the normal behind the scenes when you're actually at the shoot and you record what you're doing. I didn't actually think of that and I didn't think people would want to see it, but I did see a comment where someone wanted to see the behind the scenes. So I'm going to be showing you in this video my script for this film, the editing part, and just the entire project. Just before I go any further, as you'll see on the screen right now, this video is separated into sections, so if you want to skip ahead to a certain section, you can see the time code on the screen right now. Okay, so as you can see, we are now on the computer, and first of all, I'm going to be showing you the script. So this is the script right here. As you can see, it was actually going to be called The Haunted YouTuber at first, and it was also going to be a movie trailer. Now, this was before I shot everything, but after I finished writing the entire script, I realised this is going to be a bit longer than a trailer, because at first I was planning to make this 1 minute, like a trailer. And yeah, so it was going to be a trailer, but I changed it to a short film. I came up with The Haunted YouTuber, but then I changed it to Possessed. Now I'll try not to go through everything here because it will take up a lot of time, but as you can see very simply, it says in bed sleeping, show 3 different angles, which I did because I was sleeping right here. I had the camera one right in front of me, I had one on the side, and then I had one come across and pan across to my face. And then coming down here, as you can see, the ones that are highlighted in green, these are the ones that told me that they need to be recorded outside. The ones that aren't highlighted were recorded in the bedroom or just in the bathroom. So you'll notice with my script here, I literally put how I want the editing to be by putting cut to the scary mask. I put the dialogue here, and then if I come down here, as you can see, when I answer the phone, I put I don't know how you got my number. I put in brackets close up because that is what I wanted the camera to be, a close up on my face. There are also things that I did write in the scripts but I didn't go through them, like these things for example, moving around in my sleep, sit up, panting, and that stuff right here. And yeah, that's basically my script here. That is how I set about it. I didn't follow everything, but a lot of it is like what I said it, or what I wanted it to be, or what I envisioned it to be. And these things at the bottom were just little tips, jump cuts on the face, like the scary mask, just to create more of a horror effect. The iPhone light, which was just to create more lighting if which was needed, but it wasn't. And then speak to the groundskeeper, so the person who looks after the park, if I was allowed to record or get a permit to get permission to record in this park. Now the location I actually only visited once, and the reason for that is because this is around the corner from me. I've been seeing this park for over 15 years, so I know this park well, and I literally wrote the script from here without even going to the park because I knew every angle I already wanted. Of course, if it was a new place, then I would have checked the location multiple times. Okay, moving on, as you can see, it was actually called Horror Movie Trailer, the folder itself. And the first thing in the folders is images. And these images were just focus images. My cameraman would take a picture of me so I could then go back and check to see if the focus or the length was how I wanted it. So as you can see, the one in the arena, this is how we first took it. And then this is how I wanted it, so it got closer up. And then this is how I was checking what it will look like when he pops up behind me, if it's going to focus to him like that, and it turned out how I wanted it. This was the walking shot when I walked across. As you can see, it's more zoomed in. I didn't want it like that, so we were taking pictures so that I can confirm how I want the shot. And then this was when he was on the phone. I was just confirming the shot again, making sure it is how I wanted it. We'll go into the project after, but now we're going to go to the scene 1. Scene 1, which was filmed in the bedroom, which is when the call happened before the 12 hours later. As you can see, it's all in broad daylight. And you see I'm awake. There we go, just pretend to sleep. This is the raw footage. As you can see, it's super light. It's very bright. So I had to color grade everything in post. But even the phone itself, the ringtone you heard in the video wasn't the ringtone on the phone. If I play this, that was my ringtone, my actual ringtone playing from the camera audio. I implemented another ringtone simply because it added more of a dramatic effect, because it was a scarier ringtone, it was an old classic ringtone. So here's a funny blooper here. I told my camera guy to call me, and the thing is, where I live, the signal is bad. Yeah, let's play this. So he's trying to call me right now. We're waiting for it, and the phone is not ringing. And then that happens, it comes up and goes off straight away.
I'll just keep rolling.
And then we just had to go again, like that. We just got 5 different angles of the phone actually ringing. As simple as it is, a phone ringing, I actually wanted to make sure I get the best angle, so I actually recorded 5 different angles. Okay, moving on to scene 2. This is when we were outside. This is when literally everything happened, the build up and all that. So I'm going to set this by date here. This right here is called an Osmo shot. It was recorded in 4K. It's on these little gimbals you hold like that. You attach your phone to it, you can see what's happening on your phone, but it's recording on the gimbal. It's 4K, it's a super expensive equipment. But as you can see, it's fully stabilized and it just looks really nice. The colors are vibrant, everything is good. And then the phone shot, I wanted a close-up on it. So as you can see, we're playing around with it here. At first, we were gonna go with this. I wanted to check the shot, so we actually went through with all this, but I said I want it closer up because to me it was a bit far out and you couldn't read the text. This part here was recorded in 60 FPS for the purpose of slow motion. As you can see, it looks pretty fast because it is in 60 FPS. So yeah, that was recorded in 60 FPS just so I could slow everything down. But everything else upon it. So as you can see, we're playing around with it here, simply because that is the film look. 23 frames per second is the best one I went with. And of course everything in 1080. And finally we have scene 3 over here. This one was pretty short. As you can see, this is when I was in the bed and sitting up after being possessed. So this is the point of view shot. I held the camera right here, like literally on my head, the DSLR. I just sat up with the camera, literally pretending to use my eyes as the camera, and then I just looked around and then edited it like that. For this shot, this is when I got possessed. We actually changed it a bit, so as you can see. So we went again with that, and then we went for this one. I literally just stood there and stared at myself. And then we actually took 2 attempts at this shot here. So at this part it was a bit of both of our faults. I didn't know he actually started recording, so I turned the tap on, then I turned it off. So here's some bloopers for you as well. Demon dies. I wanted to do this in After Effects, but it was messing up with me so bad. After Effects kept crashing every time I tried to do this effect. I ended up having to go to Photoshop. I had 1 day to spare, so I definitely had to go to Photoshop because it was my last resort. But to me, I think it turned out pretty good, and it was actually a still image in the end. It wasn't the video. Okay, so now we're onto the project. The music is here. Here you go. Now this is music and sound effects. Bear in mind this was a short film, but look at that. And just because I've downloaded these doesn't mean I looked through a ton more. I looked through so many, or listened to so many different pieces of music, sound effects. It literally got stressful just listening to this. I was like listening to demonic music every day for about 3 days because the music was really hard to find, and so was the sound effects, because I really wanted this to get perfect and I wanted the best sound effects and the best music. Okay, the final thing I want to be showing you is the actual project itself. You'll see here I've done a lot of color grading. This is the entire project. Yes, it is super messy, but it all works out in the end. So, remember when I was showing you the shots in the bedroom? As you can see, if I come across here, they are all color graded, so it gives it a darker effect. This part, or this shot right here, where the camera was facing directly at me, was a bit more harder, because if I just mute this track, and mute this track, as you can see, this top track is darkening the top part up there, and then this track right here is darkening the sides like that, so it creates an illusion like it's in darkness. and that is how I ended up going with that. This one right here, again, a bit more difficult. You'll see I had the light here, so I had to cut that out. So there was just a lot of color grading happening here, and I literally needed all of it to match up, so it took a bit of time. With this part here, I went a bit lighter because it was 12 hours later, setting the scene to about 4 or 5 PM and just walking home. This scene here, we had to be pretty careful. This was recorded when people were playing football. Wait, I don't know if you can see it there, but if you look in the back, people are actually playing football over here because it was their Sunday league football. So we couldn't run or record past this tree simply because then they would have got them in the shot. And every bit of wind, even this part here, the sound effects when you heard this go like that, none of this, no sound effect or no music or anything you heard was recorded directly from the camera. Everything was edited in. Even the wind, this is the wind effect right here. This is the heartbeat. Fun fact, here when I was panting, I recorded that myself right here. I was literally in the mic just going just panting to create the effect. I got lightheaded and I literally almost fainted from doing that, but it turned out good. It all matched up well, and yeah, that is basically it. Again, using my markers helps me to set the scene. So as you can see, this to this was the first scene, then this was the second scene in between here, and then this was the last scene. There was even some color grading on this part as well, as you can see here, a bit of color grading. And then the blinking effect, as you'll see, is right here. This is when I done the point of view shot. This part right here, panting, wasn't actually made. This is the one I found on YouTube, which was royalty free, and that one felt pretty good to use. So as you can see, it's all used right here. There's the panting coming in. The sound effect, like the bass wobble you're hearing, is right here as well. And then that noise, that build-up noise, is right here. And then it just changes, and like I mentioned, this is actually a still image. The way I got the tap to keep running, I cut out this and I just looped it over, so then, and I also merged it in so it didn't sound unnatural, so it all merged together like this. So now it sounds like the tap was just left running. And that is basically it. There's nothing more to show you. It was very fun to do. It was very stressful at the same time, but it was good to try something different, and I definitely did enjoy it, and I definitely want to do it again. Now I can imagine most of you are probably thinking, what camera, what lens was that recorded on? It wasn't on my camera. It was recorded on a Canon 5D Mark III, a Canon 7D, a Samsung NX500, and the lenses used was a Sigma 1750 2.8, a Canon 35mm 2.0, and a Canon 85mm 1.8, as well as the Samsung 1650 3.5. And then of course we had the gimbal on top, which was the stabilized footage in 4K. Now next time I do create a short film, I will do a normal behind the scenes where I actually show you at the set what I'm doing, unless of course you like it this way. If you like it this way, then I'll do it this way, but I have no problem doing it the other way as well. Anyway, that's it for this video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. I do have more short films I want to do, and I actually have one planned for Christmas, and I'm hoping I can get the scripts done sometime this week or next week, so then I can plan the shots as well. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, and peace.